morning, peeps. I hope everyone is well. I'm taking a few moments out of my day to put my thoughts across on what this circus is all about now. The murder case. And I'm going to show you or talk my thoughts through the expert, should I say, who is qualified on how to chuck a phone. Okay? Well, here, believe you me, I'm the expert in how to chuck a phone. But I didn't know you get paid for going into court, high profile court case, and tell people how to chuck a phone. Do you know? And come up with some kind of evidence. You know? Honestly, this is now becoming a joke to me. And I don't believe I have spent 6 weeks out of my life watching this. Never mind 7 minutes of somebody having to watch a video belong to me. But I have wasted now 6 precious weeks, hundreds of hours, lack of sleep, temper not good, because in my opinion, and my opinion only with this case, I'm going to ask questions. You can put comments down below. Oh, before I go any further, I'm recording this here. I'm just on a break, and I'm recording it so it'll go up whatever time I set it to go up, because I have to work it through my work schedule, and I will be behind the scenes in the chat if anybody comes in to watch it when it comes up. Okay, just giving you the heads up. Okay, in case you think I'm crazy. Oh, I am crazy. Okay, but it's not live. It's recorded and just set to schedule time that I would be. Nobody comes into my lives anyway, so what the heck? Here, I'm a talk off the cuff, but everything on this, what I'm saying on this video, is my opinion and my opinion only. Okay, folks? Understand, peeps? And by the way, I say, do you understand? I'm not calling you thick or nothing. I'm the one who's thick. But I'm just saying, do you understand? Because I've slowed my accent way down to record this, okay? But, as I say, I talk in circles. So bear with me, Waynes. And I'm having a coffee and a little cigarette as I'm doing this, okay? That's why I'm off camera, so then you don't see me having my coffee or slurping. You might hear me slurping, you might hear me dragging my fag, like, or, you know? But anyway, gee God, here, get on with it, Louise, okay? But anyway, Waynes, or peeps, or whatever, this is turning into a joke. And my question is, at this stage, I should have said this earlier, is there, what do you call him, Walters or what? Walters, or the prosecutor Slade, the head man of the prosecution, Slade. Is there some kind of personal jealousy, personal grievances, personal shit? Excuse me, by the way, I curse or I come out with a few bad words now and again without thinking. As I say, I'm talking off the cuff. I'm talking to myself, by the way. And I'm sitting here feeling a wee bit embarrassed about it, but I'm doing it and I'm clear in the head. Right. Is there some kind of dilemma between Alex Murdoch and the head man of Slade? Is his name Walters or Waters or whatever his name is anyway? But there has to be something, because it seemed to have got a wee bit aggressive, as in personal aggressive, jealousy aggressive. There's something there between these two, and I do believe. Look, I know Alex Murdoch. He's up for fraud, right? Millions. Greedy fucker. He should have shared it out. Where is that money anyway? I just wonder how bad was it, because it didn't go on drugs, all right? No way. If he was only on tablets, pills, he didn't pay 50,000 a month for pills, okay? Just my opinion and my opinion only. But he's up for fraud. He's going down anyway for fraud. But I'm wondering, does this prosecutor now, because I see, I'm never far wrong from the truth, because I can read people very clearly, you know, just wants to put Alec Murdoch in the frame, to have him being the fall guy, because they've nowhere else to look, because they have no evidence of nothing. The only evidence, I just wish that effing liar Murdoch hadn't lied. Yes, I seen them 5 minutes before I left, blah blah blah. Okay, but then the case wouldn't be interesting. Do I think now the jury is a bit cheesed off? Yeah. Do I think Alec Murdoch is going to get off? Yes. Do I think that he murdered his wife and son? I don't think he pulled the trigger, but somebody else is involved. Me personally. But he's going into prison anyway, no matter what. I know he probably just want to go into prison if he did kill his wife and son. He wouldn't want to go to prison saying he killed his wife and son. He'll not worry about going on about fraud. That's easy to talk about, you know what I mean? Maybe have a giggle, maybe have a laugh. That's probably his personality, you know? He got away from it for about 10 years or whatever. But anyway, did he kill his wife and son? Well, that's now up to the jury. We, us, the public, can just have our own opinions and say yes, no. Look, this will go on for years, because there's more court cases. So it's going to go on for years. You know, it's not over. Okay, until the fat ladies sing. So I'll start singing. Okay, and so now the prosecution is bringing in the likes of this expert on how to chuck a phone. Well, when I seen this yesterday, honest to God, I went, oh my God, now the prosecution is now clutching at straws. I mean, they're digging a big deep hole to see if they can find something. You know what you have to find? Them clothes. The guns. That's what you have to find. That's the evidence. Okay? Just telling you. Instead of clinching the straws, making this now into a circus, in my opinion. But now what I'm going to do is play part of this video of this expert on how to chuck a phone. And I'm going to start and pause. Now, you don't have to watch it, you know, and clear my head. I'm going to start and pause, give you my 2 pence worth, if it means anything or if it adds anything, I don't know, you know. And I just want to, I just want to clear my thoughts in my head. And if anybody wants to put their thoughts or anything in the comment box, do so, okay? But please, don't listen to me if I'm going to waste your time. Do you know what I mean? So I'll have to mute myself, you know the way I'm such an expert on technology, not. So you have to bear with me with this, Wayne, all right? You know, I'm an expert at chucking the phone, but I'm not an expert at the keyboard or muting myself or anything. So I have to mute myself, because if I don't mute myself, I do believe I echo. So here we go. I'm going to mute and I'm going to start this, and then I'm going to stop and start. Okay? Bear with me.
Do you swear or affirm that your testimony you give today will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Witness, please be seated. State your full name for the record and spell it. Last name, please.
Paul McManigal, McManigal. All right. Good afternoon. Sergeant McManigal, correct? Yes, sir. All right. And you're employed at the Charleston County Sheriff's Office? I am. And you testified previously in this trial, correct? Yes, I have. Just briefly remind the jury exactly what topic you testified on earlier. Briefly, please. I was tasked with redacting Alec Murdoch's cell phone records to remove any possible client-attorney privileged information. All right. And during that testimony, you were not qualified as an expert, correct? That is correct. All right. But you have been qualified in previous trials? Yes, I have. And approximately how many times have you been qualified as an expert previously in other trials? About 10. 10 times. Okay. And is that in cell phone forensics? Part of it was about, for my notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 times of that was in cell phones forensics. The other was crime scene investigation. Okay. All right. And just let's briefly go down as quick as you can. Let's go through your training experience in cell phone forensics, please. I'm currently assigned to the United States Secret Service Cyber Fraud Task Force, which is where I received most of my training. I have been trained in basic computer evidence recovery, advanced computer forensics, oxygen forensic suite training, blacklight examiner, advanced mobile device examiner, Celebrite physical and logical examination, XRY certification training, Macintosh triage and imaging, Apple iDevice forensics, Celebrite advanced JTAG extraction, network intrusion response, vehicle forensics, digital video recorder evidence and recovery, ransomware investigation response training, and several other webinars. At this time, state would seek to.
Now, peeps, you know what? I think he forgot something very, very important, because he's sitting on the hot seat being an expert on how to chuck a phone. Okay? And he didn't say how much experience he had in that, you know? But he's on the hot seat telling you how to chuck a phone. Okay? In a high profile case. Oh my God. This is a circus. Okay? So I'll start again.
To admit Sergeant McManigal as an expert in cell phone forensics. Okay. So qualified. All right. Sergeant McManigal, last week you were present when a gentleman named Micah Sturgis testified for the defense, correct? That is correct. And specifically, he testified about this feature in iPhone known as Wake. Raise to Wake. Raise to Wake, correct? Yes, sir. And briefly explain to the jury what that function is and what it serves as in the cell phone, for the iPhone, excuse me. Raise to Wake is when the cell phone is laying down and you pick it up. It realizes that somebody's picking up the device and tries to assist by turning on the display so that you could possibly unlock it with your face unlock. All right. Or read a notification, possibly, if there's a notification on the screen. That's correct. And so it's designed to turn on that screen when it thinks someone's picking up the phone to look at the screen, correct? That is correct. All right. There's been previous testimony, I think, by Mr. Sturgis and other experts in this case that the iPhone, if the screen is off, it will not record an orientation change, correct? If the screen is off, it will not record an orientation. You agree with that? I agree, yes. And you were asked after Mr. Sturgis' testimony to investigate a little bit more about this raise to wake feature, correct? I was. And specifically, as demonstrated with the jurors, the screen is going to turn on when the phone is picked up gently, correct? That is correct. Because the phone thinks it's being picked up to be looked at, correct? That is correct. You're asked to investigate with a test device, whether that screen lights up every time a phone is picked up in a more violent fashion or quicker fashion, correct?
Correct. When the phone is picked up more aggressively or moved more aggressively, the device will not turn on the screen.
And that's because the way raise to wake feature is based off of what in the cell phone? What's telling it to wake up? What
The accelerometer primarily.
And so the accelerometer is sensing motion, correct?
Correct.
And so if it senses a slight amount of motion, it's going to turn the screen on because it thinks someone's picking up to look at it, correct?
And lead the witness.
And so if the cell phone only detects a slight amount of motion, what does it do? What does the iPhone do?
So if the iPhone registers a slight amount of motion, it thinks it's being picked up, so it will turn on the screen. But if it's being picked up more aggressively, it won't. And that's a battery protection feature. If you
Now, peeps, anybody watching this with their iPhone, whatever number it is, blah, 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 do me a favour, Williams. Chuck your phone across the room and see, turn it off or put it in standby, check your phone and come back to me and tell me if your phone has changed direction. No, do it lightly. Don't chuck it, just don't break it or anything. Just throw it, all right? Just throw it, you know? So we'll do our experiment. Whoever's got an iPhone, blah, blah, blah number, do your experiment and tell me in the comments if it works, okay? Only joking, Wayne's don't. I'm just saying, you know? Just saying. Just my opinion, and my opinion's only on there, all right? Okay. Bear with me.
If you had the iPhone in your pocket and you were jogging, you don't want the screen to stay on the whole time. So when the phone is moving more aggressively, the screen does not turn on.
And so you're asked to do some tests in your lab with a test device, correct?
That is correct. I obtained an iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is the same make and model as the phone that Maggie had.
All right. And what software version was on your test device?
The software that was on my device is iOS 14.8. The one that was on Maggie's was iOS 14.6. So the iOS that was on my device that I tested was slightly newer.
Okay. And did you perform a series of tests with various motions and various throws with this phone to determine, and were you able to develop an opinion of when the screen might come on and when it might not?
Basis for selection of Rule 5. This is an experiment. Evidence, actually something seasoned, and we have not been provided this. Objection is overruled. Rule 5 does not apply.
Thank you.
Hi, Wayne's. I had to stop there because I made video yesterday about objection overruled, overruled, objection overruled, overruled, overruled. How many times has that judge said, objection overruled, overruled, overruled? Oh my God, like a broken record. Hi, he's like myself, a broken record, honest to God. You know, overruled, 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 and not let nothing slip. High. This, I don't know. This judge's bound to be going crazy as well, have to admit. But I do believe he thinks that Alec Murdoch has something to do with it. All right, and this is why he's not overruled, overruled, overruled. My opinion and my opinion only. Okay, that judge knows more than he's letting on to know. You know, my opinion. Yep. All I can say is that pure jury. Oh, crazy man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Here we go again.
So you did perform a number of tests, correct?
Yes, sir. Performed many tests over the weekend. I put pick it up and shake it, pick it up and throw it. I threw it off to my desk. I knocked it off of my desk. I tried to flip it end over end. I tried to throw it like a Frisbee. I did each one at least 10 to 20 times.
And were the results 100% conclusively? I mean, did the phone do?
Now, you understand what I mean. He done test of chucking the phone. Do you know what I mean? He is an expert on chucking a phone. Let's chuck the phone off the desk. Let's chuck the phone across the room. Let's chuck the phone. Let's pick it up softly. Let's pick it up roughly. Let's just ignore the phone and accidentally slip it off the desk. My God, Wayne's crazy. Crazy.
Do the same thing every time?
No, not at all. Sometimes the screen would turn on when I threw it, laying face up, and then the screen would turn on. But a lot of the times I would throw it and the screen would not turn on. It depends on how the accelerometer registered that movement.
So, based off your test, is it your opinion that an iPhone of the same make and model as Maggie's could be thrown and the screen not turned on? Can't lead the witness. Did you develop an opinion about whether?
Hi, Wayne. Sorry I'm stopping and starting, but do you understand what I'm saying? That the prosecutors are clinching at straws. How ridiculous is this? Clinching at straws, digging big holes, trying to find something. Guess what, hi? Go and find the clothes that Alex was wearing on the video. Go and find the guns. Okay? Just saying. My opinion and my opinion only. Clinching at effing straws, mates. What a mess. What a bloody mess.
The screen would turn on every time a phone was.
If the phone is thrown, the screen does not always turn on. In my experimentation, I determined that when the phone is thrown more like a frisbee, 9 out of 10 times, the screen does not turn on. The times that it did turn on most often was when I pick it up and try to shake it, then the screen would come on briefly.
But 9 out of 10 times, when you toss a phone like a frisbee, the screen would not turn on.
That is correct.
Confer from the second.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. When you performed these experiments, did you record them in any way?
I did not.
You didn't video record doing any of this?
I did not.
Did you consider video recording any of these experiments?
Actually, it never crossed my mind.
You just
Oh my God, Wayne. Sorry I didn't mute that there. I'll go back, okay? I'll go back. A couple of seconds or so, okay? Because it probably echoed. No, I'll not go back because it was really nothing. Oh, no, I would need to go back, okay? Bear with me.
Out of 10 times, when you toss a phone like a frisbee, the screen would not turn on.
That is correct.
Confer from the second.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
When you performed these experiments, did you record them in any way?
I did not.
You didn't video record doing any of this?
I did not.
Did you consider video recording any of these experiments?
Actually, it never crossed my mind.
You just did the experiments and then just sort of orally relay when you could have had a video to show us?
That is correct.
Okay, did you hear that? He didn't record it or nothing. And this man is sitting on a big hot seat on a high profile case saying he didn't record nothing. He wrote nothing down. This gets more interesting, how much of a circus it is now becoming. Okay? Digging a hole, digging a hole. My opinion only. This is a mess, and the jury is now fed up. In my opinion, and my opinion only. Start again.
If you were going to throw a phone out from a moving vehicle, wouldn't you need to pick it up, to toss it?
Certainly.
And if I understand the previous testimony, when you pick it up, the screen comes on.
When you pick it up gently.
So if you pick it up,
Sorry, Waynes, I have to intervene again. God, I'm so annoying. Yeah. Right. If I'm not mistaken, where Maggie's phone was found, and they're saying now Alec Murdoch had the phone, okay, driving along the road, and if I'm not mistaken, it was about 45 miles per hour, with his window down, or with the passenger window down, because wasn't he driving away? So he'd be in the left and the phone was found on the right. So he was driving 45 miles per hour down the road. Call me crazy if you think I'm crazy thinking this. 45 miles per hour down the road. Sure, small road, or is it a main road? Is it a big road, little road, whatever road? Okay? Driving down the road anyway, approximately 45 miles per hour. So the map says. Okay? He put down the window, lifted Maggie's phone, and with the size of the window, what size is the window? 6 foot? 1 foot? Half a foot? Blah, blah, blah. One hand on the steering wheel. Listen to music down the road. Lifted Maggie's phone at 45 miles per hour and chucked the phone. You know? And he's a good aimer, isn't he? Because he actually got it through the window and sent it how many yards or how many foot, you tell me, across into the green. Alec Murdoch, you are absolutely some kind of a pitcher. You know? Do you play baseball? I wonder. Because that is good pitching. If you were fit to lift the phone as you were driving with one hand on the steering wheel without stopping, chuck the phone through the passenger window, and shoo, that is, you've wasted your time being a solicitor. You could be a baseball pitcher. Just saying, my opinion and my opinion only.
up to toss it out the window while you're driving, you got to pick it up. Is that correct?
Correct. And if you pick it up aggressively, it will not.
But not always.
Not always.
Sometimes will, sometimes won't.
Correct.
According to the
In my opinion and my opinion only. Alex Murdoch, again, driving down the road, one hand on the steering wheel, Maggie's phone another, or on the seat, passenger seat. And that man did not lift that phone up aggressively. Do you think that if he had just committed 2 murders, that he was in a panic state, that he didn't lift that phone up aggressively and chuck it out the window? You mean to say 45 miles an hour down the road, and he lifted the phone up softly, and then give it a little chuck, and it went a many foot. I mean, I have to look that up. Maybe without me looking it up, somebody can tell me how far away from the road to the field did that phone land. Because I'm telling you, but bear in mind now, Waynes, he lifted the phone gently, and him in a panic state after murdering his wife and his son. He was so calm, he lifted the phone and he says, I think I have to throw this out the window at 45 miles per hour. I wonder how far it's going to go. Look, it doesn't make sense, okay? It does not make sense. My opinion and my opinion only.
Experiments that you conducted since when did you do these experiments?
I started it Friday afternoon and into Saturday.
So you did these experiments this last weekend.
Correct.
You did not record any data.
I did not.
You just played with the phone and are coming here to express your observations.
That's correct.
Do you have the phone that you used to do these experiments with you?
Not with me.
Are you
I'm sorry, peeps. I'm butting in again. Is that not crazy? Is this not crazy? Do you know what I mean? And we say, yeah. You see, this corruption of the police force, I didn't know it happened a while back over here, right? Corruption. But Jesus, it's going in every state in America, in my opinion only. Corruption of government, corruption of police force. And if I'm telling you, if somebody starts taking a dislike to you, you'll be taken up for murder. Just in my opinion only. Okay? Jesus. I'm telling you, you're not safe anywhere. Okay? My opinion.
aware of how the phone Maggie's phone in this case, how it, when it was located, what its position was? Have you seen the photos?
I have.
Or was it screen up?
It was screen up.
Would you agree then that it had to be thrown from a screen up position, because if it was screened down and you turned it over to throw it out, the screen would come on?
Of course not. It can tumble through the air.
So if the phone was screened down in the car and it ends up screen up over here, it has to turn over, right?
At least one time, yes, sir.
And do you, I guess, disagree with the previous testimony and demonstration that when you take the phone and turn it over, the screen comes on?
No, when you pick it up gently, the screen does come on.
We say pick it up. If you rotate it on that axis so that it's screen down to screen up, does the screen come on?
If I pick it up gently and rotate it, the screen comes on. If I pick it up aggressively, it does not.
And if it's facing you and rotates 90 degrees, does the screen come on?
Only if you do it gently.
Once again, I'm going to be a broken record. 5 miles an hour with the music blaring in his radio, blah, blah, blah. After murdering his wife and his son, gently picked up Mike's phone from the passenger seat and chucked it out the window. Doesn't add up, Waynes. To me, it doesn't add up, because he would not have lifted that phone up gently in a panic state. Okay? Believe you me, I haven't murdered anyone, but let me tell you, when a wee bit of anxiety gets into you, you'll not do anything gently or softly. Everything will be bang, bang, bang. Get rid of it. Get. Right? I hope it makes sense. You know, call me crazy, but no, this will not make sense. And guess what? I do believe the prosecution now has failed. There's another thing they've failed on anyway. I'll talk about that all after, okay? Let's get rid of this here video, okay? Bear with me.
Again, if you do it aggressively.
How gently? Did you measure any of these forces?
I did not.
You just threw the phone around in your office?
Absolutely.
So you didn't record what?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh my God. This is a high profile case and the prosecution has brought in this shit. My God. Will I rewind it back again? Just for you to hear it again? Okay.
Pick it up aggressively. It does not.
And if it's facing you and rotates 90 degrees, does the screen come on?
Only if you do it gently. Again, if you do it aggressively.
How gently? Did you measure any of these forces?
I did not.
You just threw the phone around in your office?
Absolutely.
So you didn't record what you were doing, and you did not measure any data. Is this because you were afraid that you would have to disclose that data if you recorded it?
Of course not, no.
Do you normally do experiments and don't record any data or video, record anything?
It never crossed my mind to record video.
This expert, unqualified, chucked a phone, is on a high profile case, and it did not cross his mind to record his evidence of the phone being chucked. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I'm going to move to America and I'm going to be the qualified phone chucker. Okay? And high profile cases. My opinion only. See yous over there. Hey, I'll be getting rich. I'll be getting my dollar. Because I'm very good at what happens when you chuck a phone.
Do you believe that you would have to have disclosed that data if you had recorded it?
Objection, Your Honor. Overruled.
I believe so, yes.
So the reason you didn't record data was that it would have to be produced, and then we could examine it and discover whether or not it was accurate.
No,
you
sir.
avoided that by not recording anything, correct?
No, sir. That's not correct.
Why didn't you record any data?
It did not cross my mind to video record my experiments. I just did the experiments to determine whether or not
And you
the screen
didn't
would come on.
occur.
I love it, folks. I love it. Experimentals on how to chuck a phone. Love it. I'm going into every courthouse or every place now in where I live, near and far, and say, here, I'm an expert on how you chuck a phone, what happens when you chuck a phone, and by the way, I do not record nothing. I'll just tell you my thoughts and my opinions. Wow. And I say, it doesn't matter how big the case is, I'll sit in that hot seat as long as I get paid. My opinion and my opinion only. I love it.
Occurred to you to measure how fast you're moving the phone, maybe to even find out what is that threshold you claim where the phone goes from turning on to not turning on? Exactly when does that happen? You have no idea, do you?
No, sir. It would take me much longer to do these experiments to determine the exact speed and force required to turn the display on versus not.
Did you discover any, or did you attempt to locate any documentation regarding the raise to wake feature on the iPhone?
I did. I tried extensively. I reached out to several different forensic surface focus groups that I'm a part of, and we were not able to find any white papers on the subject.
So you're unable to find any actual data on it, so you resorted to throwing your phone around alone? Was anyone with you when you did this?
No, sir. I was alone in my office.
So you're alone in your office, throwing the phone around, taking no measurements, recording nothing over the weekend, and then you come in here and testify as an expert as to what the phone will do.
That's correct.
And testify that it's different than what we've seen it do right here in this courtroom.
That's correct.
Have you ever done this, anything like this before? You'd mentioned testifying 6 times before. Was this your expert testimony in any other case?
My expert testimony in other cases was always about cell phone reports and the data contained therein. I've never actually done physical experimentation to come up with a realistic result.
So your previous experience was extracting data from cell phones. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Is that what you're trained to do?
Yes, sir.
The training that was listed, it was to extract data from a cell phone?
Yes, sir.
Are you an engineer?
No, sir.
Do you have any certification in engineering?
No, sir.
Do you have any degree, academic qualifications in engineering?
No, sir.
Have you ever worked as an engineer?
No, sir.
You're trained in extracting data from the cell phone.
That's correct.
And when it comes to tossing it around and seeing how it moves, you don't know anything more than anyone else, do you?
No, sir.
So you had this, Your Honor, based on the previous answer, I would move to strike the expert opinion.
On what basis?
The witness just testified he has no expertise in this. That he just said he has no more knowledge about this than anyone else in the courtroom. That his expertise is in extracting data from the cell phone. And that this opinion is therefore outside of his expertise, and this is inadmissible opinion testimony.
Previously stipulated that he's an expert.
Yes, Your Honor, in extracting data from the cell phone, which was before we got to this testimony.
Says the state.
Your Honor, this witness performed a series of tests. He's reporting on. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
We know that he's testified to that.
And he's expressed his opinion of what the phone will do in those series of tests. It's not an absolute opinion, but I think his opinion of when the screen would light up is something he tested and something he testified.
Anything further?
Your Honor, simply that when he was proffered as an expert before this testimony, it was in extracting data from the cell phone, not in engineering, electrical engineering, which is where he's gone now.
Objections overruled.
Objection overruled. Oh my God. That judge is a broken record. Overruled. Overruled. Objection overruled. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that was overruled, because I would like the jury to sit and watch this here video and see what kind of a farce it is. You know what I mean? What kind of a farce, and how deep down that rabbit hole that the SLED are in now. And they want to get out now. You know what I mean? Because they've made a mess of it. Do you know what I mean? My opinion and my opinion only, folks. You see where I'm at now. Right, I'll start again.
So you just testified you have no more knowledge about engineering the iPhone than anyone here, correct?
I know more about how the iPhone works, but no, sir, I'm not an engineer.
You're not an engineer. When you said that the accelerometers are what trigger this feature. How do you know that?
That's from data that's on Apple's website.
So you found something on Raise the Wake that says that the accelerometers are what trigger this feature?
No, sir. That's the only thing that is capable of detecting motion on the phone, besides GPS.
And you have no idea how much motion is required because you didn't measure it, correct?
No, sir. I don't know the threshold.
You, this weekend, sat around your office by yourself, recording nothing, tossing the phone around here, and are now reporting those results as an expert in what?
In cell phone forensics. I understand how cell phones operate more than most people.
Do you understand the electrical engineering? Do you have any background in that?
I am not an engineer, no, sir.
Do you know how the accelerometers in the iPhone work? Can you tell us?
Not exactly, no, sir. But I know that they exist, and I know that's how the iPhone determines motion.
So there's an unknown device within the phone that detects motion in a way that you don't understand, and some amount of motion that you don't know how much because you didn't measure it does something that only you saw in your office this weekend. Is that
Well,
correct?
no, I know what that is. It's the accelerometer. The accelerometer is what detects the motion, and that's what causes the iPhone to race to wake.
How does an accelerometer detect motion?
I'm not an engineer. I do not know how it detects motion. I just know that it does.
But sir, you really haven't said anything you couldn't quickly find out on Google, isn't that correct?
Probably, yes, sir.
So you have no expertise in this.
I have expertise in how cell phones work.
What do you mean by that? How cell phones work?
So I can tell you all about the knowledge C databases. I can tell you about the ways iPhones are not iPhones. I can tell you the way some software is written, what kind of code is written in. I can tell you how data is stored on a cell phone, the programming that's involved with the iOS feature, and the different databases that are involved.
Can you tell us that if somebody was driving down the road, picked up a phone that was either on the seat or pulled it out of a pocket or something like that, and while continuing to drive, threw it out the window, that the screen would not come on if it landed face up?
I cannot tell you that it will not come on. I can tell you that it might not come on.
Because when you were alone, throwing your phone around, you think it didn't come on sometimes.
Objection sustained. Further.
Just real quick, when Mr. Barber was asking.
Oh my God, Waynes, was I on? Oh my God, I hope that didn't echo. I'm sorry if that has echoed. I forgot to put on the mute. Sugar puffs. Hopefully it hasn't. But if it, do I have to replay it? If it's echoed, I'll take it down again. Sugar puffs. You know what I mean? Talk about this man being crazy in his phone chucker. But here, right? Let me tell you, Waynes. This man, as the defense said there, this man who's sitting on the hot seat in a high profile case, okay, knows no more than you and I because he looked up Google. Good old Google. Google is now in the middle of a high profile case. This is serious, man. Hey, this is serious, isn't it? You know, what the hell's happening? Do you know? What the hell's happening with this world? That, oh, I'll just pick you off the street and accuse you of murder, even though I haven't got any evidence. I've got a video of you nearly at the scene. You lied because you're a born liar. I didn't pick up your clothes. I didn't see, I haven't got the clothes to analyze the clothes, but we we have seen blood splatter on the white t-shirt you're wearing that smelt of washing powder. What else was there about this case that made no sense? Honestly, I have more to talk about, and I'm 52 minutes in here, Rains, and I need to get my skates on and get somewhere else, okay? So here, I love you and leave you. Sorry if it was echoed in the middle of that there, because I forgot to mute myself. You probably hear me slurping at my coffee and dragging my fag. But anyway, and there was an echo in the middle of it. But anyway, honestly, I'm no expert in tippy tapping. Do you know what I mean? Using a computer, just like your man, who is no expert in what happens when you chuck a phone. Guess what? If I chuck the phone, it'll be broken. Do you know what I mean? I'm qualified in that. Just my opinion and my opinion only. So thank you, Waynes. Thank you, peeps, for listening to me. And I'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.